I felt like making a video, in part because some people say they like the video better. I guess it's probably easier for me to say things than write them, but I choose the form of writing instead of speaking on topics where I really need to be able to think through things, and that's what I think is so funny when people tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about and that I need to think through things before I speak. And I've gotten to a place in my research when, if you look right here, these are my books. This is where I live, right here. This is what oh, you can't see anything. Good Lord. It's so dark in here. That's why it's hard. Those are my books. This is what the room I sent in. It's like a den. If you look out here, I really do live in a place where all the streets are broken. There's glass everywhere. And I'm writing constantly. I'm working constantly. I just don't necessarily get a check from some establishments. I've whittled my overhead down to next to nothing so that I can concentrate on the things that I'm pursuing because I believe in them that wholeheartedly. And I posted Lies and Labels because it's part of a book, and I'm writing constantly. I don't know what's going to end up in a book or where sometimes, or sometimes things are poems, or sometimes things are, meant for music. And really, these are all my greatest passions, and I'm trying to share, because I've come to a point in my research where I need to discuss the things I found. I need to discuss my questions and why I say the things that I do, and the only way to do that is by talking about it. And if I'm in a position right now where I can't necessarily connect with all the people who were once in my life because everybody is scattered out, I've moved a lot of different times. I wrote down in my book 29 different moves since the age of 18. I thought it would be funny to write how many boyfriends I've had, how many jobs, how many addresses, because I have more time on my hands right now than I ever have. And I love how people want to tell me how lazy I am now, when it's like, oh, forget that I lapped your ass 100 times over every other year before this to get to where I am right now, when I have been blocked and trapped and tools stolen and taken from me and inundated by bills, and people who I've trusted can kick me out on a whim with no contract and provoke me to do things I wouldn't ordinarily do. That's why I'm mad. You want to know why I'm mad? You want to tell me to learn some manners? All I was my whole life was polite, catering to everyone else's anything, what you want me to say and do and how you want me to do it. And I did the formula. I went to school. I worked hard. I paid my dues, and all I have gotten are answers to questions that I had a long time ago about why things seem to be set up like this and why certain people seem to be able to succeed and others not. And I followed those questions, and in following those questions, it led me to an angry place. And Jesus was very angry in the Bible and used such words as hate. And maybe the curse words are omitted. How would we ever know? And that's right there, blasphemy. It's like, I'm asking questions about a book that we know that there is a Vatican, and there are all kinds of different contradicting sides of a very long story of history that none of us today are here to talk to any of these people. So if my whole life is affected, if I am someone who is poor or grew up or came from a place where, my parents are like, it's 18, go to college and figure it out, kind of a thing. And I was allowed to come home a couple times, but they never saw what really brought my heart the greatest passion, and they never really understood. So rather than trying to explain it to them and argue why we're different and all this, I just had to make a choice then to figure it out for myself. So, I'm really upset with the fact that no one can, comment on what I've written to me and have a conversation, which was the point and purpose of me posting it anyways, that part of it, because it's a perfect time. The government is shut down right now. If I can't use Facebook as a forum to discuss these things, where am I allowed to go? I couldn't discuss them in school. I'm not allowed to discuss them in social circles. I can only discuss them at a church where everyone there believes the very same thing. And every time I ask questions of those people, they will shut down or have an answer to your question that still leads you to another question. And then, you know what? If you can't something, they say, Faith. Well, you gotta have faith. Yeah, right, I know. The faith part is that there is no really walking, living proof. The fact that I can't just, talk to Jesus. That in itself is the proof, the faith part to me. But I'm going to need a little bit more understanding to this story because it's kind of hard to take it in. Sorry. So I'm a newbie here, and I'm just trying to figure it out, and a lot of things don't make any sense to me. So when I asked some questions all these years, and I've had all these years to write down every single example and collect all this evidence of the real deal, what's really going on out there, because that's what books were meant to do. I can't even research anything anymore because there are 100 different people saying things about one topic and none of them agree. None of this. I'm like, what works? What of this? I could try hair products for the rest of my life and never figure out which one's really working for my hair because you got to give it 6 months to see if it has any effect, and then you switch it again. And the same with jobs. I get into a job, I'm like, yeah, this is not for me, and then I can't leave because I have debt to the shit I own. That's why I left all that crap behind. I'm like, I'm a slave to crap I don't even own. I mean, how is this even? What? And then I go and I make this money from these people. I have no other choice. I've gone to school. I've put this stuff into my own brain, and I've done the legwork and the time to equip myself, and I have to go have you tell me it's worth this amount of money. And you take all of my time, so I can't pursue any of my own aspirations. So that's why I left my day job a long time ago, so I could do that during the day and then serve at night. And you're a server, you don't get benefits, you don't get sick days, you don't get paid anything. So anytime I had stuff go down and had to leave a restaurant because my car was sniped by an ex-boyfriend or stolen from somebody in the street. I mean, I've had all kinds of things happen to me, not by my choice. And then turn around to ask for help, and there's just people because you're down and out and they're not. It's like, okay, well, there aren't enough positions available right now. You see what's going on in the world, right? And they can advertise the numbers are getting better all day long, but it's unaccounted for in the census of the people who aren't even looking for jobs, haven't gotten jobs, or can't get jobs because of one thing or another. And I spend all day long an hour filling out my information to not hear back. And now applying for jobs takes an hour for one sometimes. And it's like, what am I doing? I'm a totally capable, educated woman, and I have tried several different things, several different ways, and that's why I've collected all this evidence, this hard evidence of my experience with business and how I'm treated and people, and really what the process is like when you try to go for investments or try to get a raise or anything like that, really what you're going through, because iPhones made that really easy. I don't have my iPhone anymore, but I still have all the footage. So I'm ready now to start talking about these things because I wasn't for the longest time. I ignored everything what people were saying about me, to me, and everything else because it's not worth it to me. I don't know about that call. So my point is, after all this time, now I want to get feedback. I want to discuss. I want to know where I'm wrong. I want people to have the opportunity in the forum setting or a conversational setting or an email setting, whatever works, to get somewhere. Because I can look out into the world. I turn on the news. I listen to people's conversations. I watch people suffering, walking the streets, and I can't take it anymore. I can't just go on and live my life like this stuff's not going on all over the country. We're not on the verge of war, and all these kids are going into militaries and fighting for reasons. Are we really sure? Because ironically, these places have a lot of things that we need from them and want from them. So what is really going on? And there's no accountability. We don't see budgets, really. I mean, they could tell us they're spending the money on anything. We don't really know what's going on, how much money, where it all goes. All we know is they're able to shut down the government and control everything. And the minute I shut down and have a meltdown and need a break, there's no stop button for me. I don't continue to get a paycheck, and I certainly don't get to go have some umbrella drinks while I'm having my shutdown. So it's, when does it stop? How much more do we allow of this to go on? Because it's for damn sure that every single one of my business ideas, everything I write, all my music is geared toward helping the very people I'm talking about, not just myself. So I'm not someone trying to capitalize and gain, and then once I'm fine, then I forget about everyone else. I've never been like that. I'll never be like that. I'm just trying to get to the bottom of it and ask some questions, because it seems like the people who stand on this very book right here, this one, my favorite book ever, and I'm reading the same book that you're reading, and I'm coming across a lot of different parts and emphasis on some different things that I'm seeing is a little bit off, little bit emphasis on the wrong syllables. And there's not enough people out there willing to say, I got a question. I'm in a congregation. I get a lot of in here. I have a brain and a spirit too, and I want to ask a question. I want to give some insight, because when I read that, I heard something completely different. Oh, you do that in life groups. Oh, really? Because when I did that in life groups, they exited me stage right real quick. I mean, they cast me out so fast when I was really genuine about trying to come and learn before I accepted anything. I don't just buy a house. I don't just get married or do anything without figuring it out first. This is a story to wrap your mind around. This is something that takes a beat to figure out. So I'm 15 years in now, and I'm a little angry, yeah, because the Pharisees aren't gone. The religious leaders are still doing the same old game. And I'm not hating on anybody's place in the world. You do your Christian thing and your politicking and your suit tie wearing, whatever you want to do that you enforce on all kinds of people for years now, generations now. And there are people that have to fight for their rights to say, I mean, gay people right now are trying to fight, like, look at how many of us there are. Can you acknowledge us or no? I'm not even gay, and it pisses me the fuck off. I'm not gay, and I'm mad as fuck about stupid shit. We have to fucking take years and resources and time, and they have to figure out how to capitalize off of it first. Why isn't marijuana legal? Because they can't figure out how to make money and control it yet. Give it some fucking time, and then they will. And then they'll turn around. A movie like this could get my fucking head blown off. Why? Because I'm a terrorist, right? If I don't sit down and shut the fuck up because I don't know enough about what I'm talking about, then tell me. In schools, you gave me certain books that I could learn about. I went out and I learned through experience a whole different game. It was like you grow up thinking life is, you got all this hope as a kid. Why are children so resilient and happy? Because they got their whole life ahead of them. And then slowly, over time, it just chips away at that because you learn what really happens. And you get close enough to things and you see the Oz's behind the curtain. You hear the conversations. You witness what's going on. And then I can no longer be nice Nikki. Those of you who've known me for a long time know I was the sweetest person in the world. And I am exactly that same person to those I love. There are a group of people who never see this side of me. Only see this side of me when it has to come out, when I'm protecting myself, when I'm standing up for what I believe in, or something of that nature. So it's a righteous anger, even though I may not be right in everything I say, because I'm only subject to my own perspective and I know that I could be wrong. That's the difference between me and you. I know it's possible I could be wrong. You sit there and think you're right and then change everybody's lives on whimsical decision making and then shut down the government because you can't figure it out. One side's, well, it's not, you're grown, you are running our country. You are a leader of the free world. And you're punishing the very people the health care, Obamacare was supposed to help intentionally. That's your move? And you're for the people. We elect you people into office. Isn't that funny? We don't vote on individual policies. It's not all of us casting a vote like we can call in for your favorite fucking voice person. I can vote for a fucking person to be our idol, but I can't vote on a policy that impacts my fucking life every day. Oh, but I gotta calm the fuck down, right? I'm mad. I'm angry. I'm upset. And you're polite? You're polite because you're winning. Everything's working out for you. It's easy to be polite. You want us to be polite because then we can't say anything. Then we can't question. Take this pill. Do this. Oh, and then we'll just be quiet. I got a news flash. I've spent a time out from the world and everyone and everything in it. And I have my own brain and my own heart and my own ability to think for myself and read all kinds of different things from as much unbiased perspective as I can, because I take everything, and I'm not one religion or another religion. I feel that I am a Christian because I believe Christ. I believe in his message, what he was coming to do. I believe why God sent him. I believe he was supposed to be the payment, but we act like he didn't even die for our sins. We continue on still trying to clean the outside of the cup, talking so much about sins all the time that we forget it was already paid for by Christ. It doesn't mean it's a permission slip to go out there and continue sinning all the time, because I certainly try to sin less, because I'm trying to God say I don't want to sin a lot, just out of honor for Jesus, because he did die. But I'm not going to take his death in vain by pretending he didn't do it when I do sin and beat myself up over regret and pretend I don't have another chance, because I have another chance in life. We always do. And I'm not going to let guilt or what you people say to me or about me affect me ever again. Because I don't need anything from you. I don't need a man to, give me the love and everything and support and all that, because half the time they end up working against you anyway. And I don't need friends, because I got myself on my own best friend. I got my job, or I got my dog, I got the few people that I talk to. Outside of that, I don't need you. And I know you don't need me. None of us should need each other. That's the point. The problem is, so many people have us by the balls that they have us needing them. So we have no options. We have no choice to not go into this work environment every day where this little bitch over here fucks with me every fucking day. I don't have an option to leave that job because I need that money, because my kids at home need fed. Thank God I don't have any kids, because I can walk the fuck out of that job. But don't think for a second I don't forget about that person still at that job, tolerating that shit day in and day out. Don't think I've ever forgotten about any one of those people that I've met along the way. They fuel me. Their stories. Freedom Riders, the movie, it's real. You don't know shit about what I've been doing with my life. You think it's one thing, and I've let you. Because if you want to think I'm stupid, and you want to think I'm lazy, and you want to think all these things, it helps me. Because then you'll leave me the fuck alone so I can do what I've been doing. But now I'm ready. Because I'm not... you guys are probably going to say I'm on drugs right now, which is hilarious, because I'm not. I'm not even high right now. This is me passionate because of the evidence that I found, because of what I've prepared to do, because of what I've written. It takes a long time to do what I've done, to move around, to talk, to gather, to edit, to do all this. 13 years exactly. It takes a long time. And to explain myself to you during that whole time would have took probably 10 more years to do it. So I had to put my head down. I had to really ignore it, because there were days I wanted to come out swinging. And now I'm at a point where I feel like even if I'm not right, even if I'm so wrong on so many levels, at least I'm going to learn. At least I'm going to find some sort of peace for the reasons I look out and see my friends and the people now I call my family struggling the way they do, and see their hearts of gold, and see how they spend their time and how they try to get by and work and juggle these jobs. And because they have a price tag on their head that wasn't deemed important by people who have a whole lot bigger, exponentially fucking bigger price tag on them for what? I think somebody put the wrong price tag somewhere. I think somebody put the wrong labels somewhere. I think someone hijacked some things and put forgeries in its place. And I think I'm sick of being called names. I think I'm sick of ready to call some spades some spades. I think I might come with the video. So if I'm annoying you now, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry I'm annoying. Hit delete. It ain't nothing on me. Yeah, I'm angry. Not all the time, not with all people, just when I start talking about topics that make me upset. In exactly 2 seconds when I shut this off, you'll see me smiling and laughing. That doesn't mean I'm bipolar. That's what's funny too. I spent 5 days in a mental hospital to let them evaluate me because I was more curious about them. I'm like, yeah, evaluate me, please. And it was hilarious because 4 different doctors over the course of 5 days came in to see me, gave me less than 15. I'm being generous by even giving 15 as the maximum amount of minutes each one of them spent with me. Not one of them asked me too much personal questions about what was going on. There wasn't any one-on-one counseling at all. And then they called me bipolar. And I'm like, I'm an ordinarily happy person, and the only reason my mood is swinging to angry is because I'm being provoked and it's a reaction to something. And you won't even give me the foundation or the platform to be able to say my piece, my side. So how is that at all fair? So my books, my videos, my music, and my businesses that I've aligned now are all built to expose those things, and not just expose them, but to have pillars to compensate for those weaknesses. Because I'm not just sitting here calling out all the problems. I'm not the candidate on TV saying, being a cheerleader, vote for me. I mean, they are the best cheerleaders I've ever seen. Better than me. I'm saying how I plan to do these things and how it could work. And I very clearly outline it. All for free. And I'm doing that for a real huge reason, because I got a real problem with money. And I got a real problem with people telling me that it's everything I do is about money and I'm a gold digger. And I've lived poor enough, long enough that it's fine. Like I used to want for things, but it was only to have a persona so that I could earn my way to the next step. My goals have never changed. But those people reject you anyways, because they see what you're about and they don't want you to succeed, because that would be bad for them. So I would never hurt anyone with a weapon, but I got this mouth on me, and I plan to use it as long as freedom of speech is still free. And I don't want to be a hypocrite. And the minute I got real with myself and accepted myself, good, bad, ugly, right, wrong, stupid, smart, whatever, all your labels you guys the brushes you try to paint me with, I'm like, I'm just me, and I'll be someone different tomorrow. And I allow myself to be ever changing and evolving. And all I was ever trying to do in the nice way first was share that with you. Because I would go out and do these things, and I would want to run back excitedly and tell you what I had learned and what I had seen. And then you just didn't want to hear me. And so I didn't say anything for a long time, but now, like, there's enough going on, and it's relevant enough that if I don't say something, I'm going to feel like I missed the opportunity. And it just starts with this. So those of you in support of the things I'm trying to do, thank you for that. But I'm not sitting here tallying up, oh, I got this many people on my side. And people do that with what they say. They see, numbers going in a certain way, so they'll say more of that. I say what I really think, and if nobody agrees with me or everybody agrees with me, it's the same.